Hi, equals. It's Kim, and it is a cold January morning here in Ohio. I hope you are keeping warm wherever you are. And for those of you who are enjoying the sun and 70 or 80 degrees, I wanted to continue the series today on Make America Compassionate Again. And we're talking about words. And words that, well, some of them are words that I can give up, and some of them are words that I suggest those with whom I disagree give up. So today I want to talk about a word that I think those with whom I disagree should give up. Maybe not entirely, but in conversation around LGBT issues. And here's the word: predator. All right, why do I say that? I say that because quite frequently, when I'm out talking about LGBT issues, certainly people's brains, when you talk about LGBT people, assume that every LGBT person is engaged in sexual activity, which just isn't true. When somebody tells you that they are gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, any other term that they might use to identify themselves, that doesn't tell you anything about their sexual activity, any more so than saying that you are a heterosexual person. I had a friend of mine in a Facebook comment talk about how he doesn't particularly like the word straight because it implies that LGBT people are somehow then crooked. Anyway, so if you say that somebody's heterosexual, straight, whatever term you're using, just saying that does not mean that that person is engaged in sexual activity any more than somebody who identifies as LGBT. Okay. Did we get that? Yeah, I'd like to think that the sex lives of LGBT people are somehow better, more complete, whatever, than their straight or heterosexual counterparts. But the truth is, we're all more alike than we think. When I have this conversation with people out in the world, quite frequently, or relatively frequently, someone in the room starts to ask, well, what about sexual predators, or particularly pedophiles? What about those people? Isn't that a sexual orientation? I actually hear that relatively frequently. I don't know whether it's an orientation or not, but if you go back to my videos and if you look at the way sexual orientation is defined in law, it doesn't include pedophiles or predators of any sort. It includes people who are heterosexual, bisexual, and homosexual, generally. Sometimes it includes asexual, and we've talked about those before. None of those four things implies anyone who takes advantage of anyone else. They're in protecting based on sexual orientation. You are not protecting anyone who does anything that is currently against the law. What you're talking about, whether you're talking about an opposite sex relationship or a same-sex relationship, same genders, opposite gender, pansexual relationship, whatever you're talking about, when we talk about sexual orientation and gender identity, we are talking about consensual relationships between those with whom it's legal to have a relationship. Nothing about protecting based on sexual orientation changes any law about behavior that is illegal or infringes on somebody else's rights in any way, shape, or form. All those laws stay in place. So for those with whom I disagree, I am recommending that conversation around predators or pedophilia not be included in the same conversation when you're talking about LGBT people. Because it implies that you believe that LGBT people are predators and pedophiles, and this is not okay. Also, just kind of related, recently I've seen some folks, those working in systems where we're starting to ask sexual orientation and gender identity questions as demographic questions. And sometimes those questions are asked as in, who are you attracted to? And wondering whether people with fetishes and say they're attracted to furry animal costumes or shoes or whatever, is that a sexual orientation? No. Sexual orientation has to do with who you are attracted to, not what. All right, folks, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Hit the red subscribe button every time you subscribe. It helps me get my message out to more people through YouTube. I really appreciate it. You can also hit the little bell, which will notify you every time I put up a new video, which I do about twice a week. And I hope you are staying warm, equals. Bye.